the attack by Russian troops cut off all of Ukraine's nuclear power plant, NPP, from the power grid for the first time in 40 years. Russian President Vladimir Putin started this invasion since ordering his military forces to launch
aims to eradicate genocide in the Donbass, as well as demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine. But along with its development, Russia actually annexed 4 regions of Ukraine, namely Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhzhia, and Kherson at once. The conflict between these neighboring countries is still continuing and has not seen an end, even according to NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg and former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The Russia versus Ukraine war could last for several years. Signs of further weakening of Russia's power in Ukraine are emerging again. This time, it came from the southern region of the country. The head of Ukraine's state-run nuclear energy company said Russian troops were likely to leave the nuclear power plant in Zaporizhzhia. Meanwhile, shelling by Russian troops hit several areas in eastern and southern Ukraine overnight as utility workers continued to struggle to restore power, air, and heating following widespread attacks. In recent weeks, infrastructure teams in Ukraine are deploying around the clock to restore key basic services, as many Ukrainians only have a few hours of electricity per day. Even if there is, Ukrenergo, the operator of the country's electricity grid, said on Sunday that electricity producers were now supplying about 80% of demand, up from 75% a day earlier. Meanwhile, the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, said reports from both sides indicated that heavy rains and mud had had an impact.